Good evening, students. Today we're going to tonight we're going to talk about evaluating expressions. Here is your notes. Sorry. Before we start filling out our notes, on the top right here in the corner, I want you to write down PEMDAS. So let's refresh our memories on what PEMDAS means. Remember, PEMDAS, P stands for parentheses, so that's your parentheses. E stands for the exponent, so it's a little exponent. M is for multiplication. D is for division. So we can do division as a slash. A is for addition, and S is for subtraction. So that's the order you solve your expressions when it comes to evaluating expressions. So the word evaluate means, because many of y'all do not even know what that word means. To evaluate something means to substitute a number for the variable. So all you're doing is you're taking a number and you're plugging it in for a variable. Remember, the word variable just means a letter. So the word variable, all that means is an unknown, which is your letters. Okay. Now always remember, key thing to remember is you need to put parentheses around all variables. Before substituting into the expression. Okay, so put parentheses around all variables before you substitute into the expression. So no matter what, where the x is, a y, if it's an a, a b, a t, an s, always put parentheses around it, or you will get confused. So let's look at our first example. It says evaluate 7 times x to the 5th, x minus 5 to the 2nd power. And they want to know when x is 4, what is our answer? So the first thing we do, we got to do our remember, we have to put parentheses around our variable. So if I was to rewrite this, I would rewrite it as 7, put parentheses around our x, minus 5 squared. Your variable is what you're plugging that 4 in for. So this 4 gets plugged in to x. So now we rewrite it as 7. Do not get rid of your parentheses. 4 minus 5 squared. Now we follow PEMDAS. You have it plugged in, so we follow PEMDAS. So we take care of what's inside the parentheses first. Well, what is 4 minus 5? 4 minus 5 is negative 1 squared. The next thing in PEMDAS is E, our exponent. So what's negative 1 squared? Now remember, negative 1 squared is saying negative 1 times negative 1, which gives you a positive 1. Don't think it's negative 1 times 2. Squared means to multiply it times itself. So now you have 7 times 1, which equals 7. That is your answer. And if you want to write the steps off to the side, you can. Step 1, or these two steps together, is like substituting. Parentheses. Here, you're doing your exponent. Here, we were multiplying. And this is your answer. So if you take a look at the next one, our first step is to put parentheses around our variable. So we have x squared minus 4 times our x. We know that this negative 2 is what's being plugged in. So we can rewrite it as negative 2 squared minus 4 times negative 2. All I did is I took that negative 2 and I plugged it in wherever there was an x. So this right here is our substituting parentheses. Then we do our exponents. So do we have any exponents? Well, we have an exponent right here. So what is negative 2 squared? Remember, that is negative 2 times negative 2, which is a positive 4. So now you have 3 times 4 minus 4 times a negative 2. So this is where we multiplied, or no, we did our exponents. Actually, I would say exponents is here. And then remember, parentheses, this is just like the distributive property. So you have parentheses, so you distribute. So you got 3 times 4, which is 12. Negative 4 times, you always take the sign in front. Negative 4 times negative 2, which is 8. So here we multiply. 12 plus 8, we're adding. 12 plus 8 equals 20. That is your answer. And you are finished. Okay. So the key things to remember with evaluating expressions is to plug in the number in for the variable. You could have a different variable. It could be a. That's okay. It still means the same thing. You plug the number in for the variable, and then you solve using PEMDAS. And the last example is just writing an expression. It says write an expression for an area of a rectangle with a width of 2 inches and a length of 5x minus 4. So again, every time you see a word problem, draw pictures if you have to. So you have a width of 2 inches and a length of 5x minus 4. Well, remember, area is length times width. So your area is going to be 5x minus 4 times 2. Well, can we still distribute even though the 2 is at the back? Yes. You just distribute it in. That's that commutative property. Okay? So 2 times 5x. Well, 2 times 5 is 10. And we keep our x. That's 10x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. That there is your area. If you have any questions, please, actually real quick, right off to the side what happened. This one should actually go here. That's your commutative property. And then we distribute it. And here's your answer. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, please come to class ready to ask them. I hope you have a good evening. See you tomorrow.